Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Summerween content. I know that the official Summerween Readathon hosted by Gabby Reads here on YouTube has passed and has ended, but the fun still continues because there are still books on my Summerween TBR that I haven't finished. So that's what we're doing this week. We're going to finish the TBR. What we've got left is Wake Up and Open Your Eyes, which I have started, which is why the dust jacket is off. I'm about halfway through and I'll be telling you my thoughts very soon. We also have The Return by Rachel Harrison and Bad Cree by Jessica Johns. I think I'm going to read this one next and this one last, but we'll see. I'm a big mood reader, so we'll just go with the vibes. We'll follow where the vibes take us. So if you are wanting to follow along for the spooky vibes, feel free to hang out for the rest of the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want. I'm doing spooky reading content all month long, so that's gonna be very fun. I'm having a great time. I'm finding some really good books. You should watch my other three Summerween videos that I've put out so far because I've found some really solid horror books and I'm very pleased. So you can watch those if you want to be inspired for your next spooky summer read. But yeah, we're gonna finish the Summerween TBR and hopefully we'll get something good this week. So let's get to it. Okay, sorry. What is this? What did I just read? I'm so sick. I'm so sick. Like, I've maybe never read a book that made me feel so like deeply unnerved and disgusted and squirmy and on the verge of just total minty bee is happening right now after reading this. Total 100% complete minty bee is happening. I need you to understand that the concept of this book, the whole like demonic possession through news outlets and social media, a very relevant topic, feels very close to home. And that makes it so scary. So this is like extremely effective as far as horror books go, as far as horror plots go. Very horrific. It did the trick. I'm scared, horrified, disgusted, disturbed, all of the above. Did I love it? That's the question. Did I love it? Is it a 5-star book? No, and I will tell you why. I need there to not be so many sexually explicit scenes. That was like genuinely the worst part of the book. I don't even know how to explain it, because it's not like I don't have a problem with sex in books. Like, that's fine. That's gonna be there sometimes. That's fine. That's not this. That's not this. I'm sick. I'm sick. I didn't want to read that. I never want to read that again. And unfortunately, those scenes are going to be so firmly implanted in my brain until I can read something that unlodges them from my brain wrinkles. I'm sick. I don't ever want to read that again. There were it was just this is not a book with smut in it. This is a book with sexual depravity. And I don't know how to like get this across to you without like scarring you for life. It's not it. It was not it for me. It was not it for me. I was over that after the first time it happened, and it did not stop. It did not stop. It happened many more times than I could handle. So that alone takes an entire star off of it, because I'm still like, my stomach is churning. My stomach is churning. I very passionately hated that. Okay. And then along with that, there were a few other things about this book that just like I didn't love. Sometimes the writing style wasn't my very favorite. There was a lot of just like okay, here you can just see like the way that this is structured, lots of line breaks, and that's fine sometimes, but that is used so often throughout the book. And when you're listening to the audiobook, you don't really notice it, but when you're reading it this way, it can kind of get annoying, in my opinion. But it's not that big of a deal, so it's not like that's gonna really knock my rating down any. Also, when it comes to them talking about news outlets, most of them were just like in real life, what they're called in real life. And then the one the one that is the problem outlet, and you probably know the one that I'm talking about, that one is like slightly changed in name, and that I thought was a little bit silly. I understand why it was done that way, because like potential lawsuits and whatever, but could we have done a little bit better on the name change? Like, just a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do with myself after finishing this. I think I just need to go to bed. I think I need to go to bed. I need to delete all of my social media and throw my electronic devices in the trash. I'm sick. I still haven't, I don't think I've even told you what I rate and what I'm rating this. I think that I'm going to rate it 4 stars because it is extremely relevant. I have not read a book like this before, and so I feel like it's unique. Like, the story that's being told was uniquely told, and I appreciated that. I liked the way that the plot itself was structured, because you start with one character that's a part of this family. You're following the Fairchild family, okay? You start with Noah. He gets like 1 chapter, and then you go back in time a few months and you're with his brother's family. So Asher, his wife Devin, and their 2 kids. So you're kind of seeing the before the possession was really like affecting everything. You see how that started and the progression of the possession. So that was interesting, and I liked that. I feel like it gave me enough understanding of how it happened, and the pacing was really good. That's something that the pacing was really good in this book. I will give it that also. I'm sorry, I just feel so like disoriented after reading this. I feel like I need to lie down. I would recommend this to you if you are not squeamish. If you're squeamish, take precautions, because there's a lot about this book that is really, really disgusting. And I'm not even just talking about the sexual depravity of it all. I'm talking about like violence, gore. Oh my god. So yeah, 4 stars. I guess I liked it if I'm rating it 4 stars. I just feel so like deeply disturbed in my soul. And I guess that means it was really effective, you know? But I just think I need to move on. I just think I need to move on and cleanse my palate. So on to the next horror book, I guess. And the next one is gonna be Bad Cree, because I've heard so many good things about this book, and I feel like the horror of this book is going to be much milder than what I just read. So I think that as far as horror books go, maybe this will be a good palate cleanser. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm about to be like even more disturbed, but we're gonna find out together. Will I start this today? Questionable. I might need a little mini break from the books for a second after what I just read. But just know that this is coming next, and I'll let you know what I think whenever I've read a little bit of it. But I've heard great things, so I'm really excited. I have high hopes for this one. Little update on Bad Cree. I am a little over halfway through. I think it's 53% that I just stopped. And I've been really enjoying listening to the audiobook while I read, because there are a lot of words that I don't know how to pronounce in this book. And so hearing the pronunciation while I read it is really helping me. And also, speaking of pronunciations, the chapter numbers are written out like this. So God knows I don't know what that is. So hearing that spoken is also really cool. So I highly recommend listening to the audiobook and reading along, or just listening to the audiobook, because yeah, you get it. So basically, so far, what we know is Mackenzie, our main character, is having dreams, weird dreams about her sister that has died. And this is happening after she's moved away from home. The way that she handled grief was basically by leaving her family and running away from it, distancing herself from it. So she returns home in order to receive advice and help from her family. I'll let this boat pass and then we'll talk some more. There have definitely been moments that I have not been totally engaged in, so I feel like I've missed bits and pieces of the plot that may have been important, but I'm hoping that it all like comes together in a way that makes sense to me still. But I am liking it. It's not like scary, but it is kind of spooky. And so I think after reading Wake Up and Open Your Eyes and just being filled with dread, this is a good transitional book. Like it's still got the spooky, eerie vibes. There's still like definitely something going wrong here, but I don't feel bad reading this. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely want to know what's going on, and I'm like curious and a little bit spooked, but I don't feel sick. So I think that this was a good choice to read this one after Wake Up and Open Your Eyes. But anyways, I'm really liking it so far. I'm really liking it so far. I am hoping that it gets a little bit spookier. I'm expecting it to. But I am really enjoying the family dynamics that are being written, and I really like Jolie, the friend, a side character, non-binary rep, which is great. Yeah, I feel like I don't have a whole lot to say about this book yet because I feel like not a whole lot has happened, but I am definitely interested, and I'm having a good time reading it, so it's going well so far. And I'm having a good little morning sitting on the porch. Nice summer July morning. So I'm gonna get back to reading, and then I'll update you when I've got more to say. I need to figure out how to explain to you what I feel about this book, because at first when I finished it, or when I was close to finishing it, I was like, I don't know if this is like 5 stars, but I'm really, really loving it. But I don't know, I just have such a like warm feeling after finishing that. I don't know if I've ever read a book that made me feel so connected to a family like this. I think this is one of the best depictions of family, specifically women in family, that I've ever read. It's just a cool thing to feel when you're reading about a mother and her daughters and the aunties and just like ancestors, and how they're all so closely tied to one another in every aspect of life. And like that, we're not even speaking to the horror element of this book. We're just talking about the way that family ties were portrayed, and I just loved that so much. I don't know how to rate it. I might rate it 5 stars. Here's the thing. Was this scary to me? Was this a horror novel? Yes and no. There were definitely horror elements to it. I think the vibes were like spooky, eerie, but not like tense. I didn't feel a lot of tension, but I think that was okay. I think the pacing really worked for this. I don't know. Why is this so hard to describe? I think that it had something to do with the setting, because for a lot of the book and in a lot of the dreams that our main character is having, they're taking place at a lake, like kind of camping vibes in the woods, and that to me is very nostalgic. Not necessarily the camping vibes, but being by the lake specifically. I grew up going to the lake every summer, and so that place just comes with a lot of nostalgia and comfort. And so I think for a horror book to take place in a setting that is already so comforting to me, it's such an interesting mix of like warm and comforting, but also eerie and unsettling. I just think it was expertly done. And I have a really hard time like explaining or getting across to you how it was spooky but also comforting, but maybe if you've read this, you kind of understand what I mean. I think it had everything to do with the setting, like I said, being at the lake, nostalgic for me, and also the family connection. Like the way that all of the women just came together to solve this problem and beat this horror was just so cool and lovely to see. So I don't know, do I rate it 5 stars? I might have to sit with it for a little bit, but I really am leaning 5 stars. The longer that I think about it, the longer that I sit with the ending, it just feels good. And it's just so interesting to read a horror book and in that last chapter and feel good after. Especially coming from a book that disturbed me so deeply and then reading this, it just feels so much better. It just feels so much better. I think maybe I should just go with my gut. I think I should just go with my gut and rate it 5. Because if I've been sitting here and the longer I talk about it, the longer I think about it, it gets better and better in my mind, and I'm already leaning 5 star, then I should just rate it 5 stars. I'm gonna go with my gut. This is 5 stars. I think you should read it. I think you should read it. I think you should listen to the audiobook. It was wonderful. Just wonderful. Thank you to everyone who recommended this to me and encouraged me to pick this up, because I really didn't have high expectations about this, but it honestly kind of blew me away. So definitely worth reading 100%. Which means now the last book in the vlog, The Return by Rachel Harrison, can begin. So I'll probably start that today. I imagine I won't finish it until tomorrow, because we're already mid-afternoon, and I don't think I'm going to be like speed reading this or anything. So I will start that today, and I'll let you know my thoughts when I have them. I'm gonna be honest, I have almost completely finished this in just about one sitting. One sitting. I like it and I don't like it at the same time. Let me tell you something I know for sure is I hate all of the characters. They're all unlikable. I don't like this vibe. So there's one thing we gotta get out of the way. They're all problematic in their own ways. Do I like the premise? Yes. I think I like the pacing for the most part. There are a few places that I felt like skimming, like I wasn't really into the girly gals weekend. Woohoo! Let's talk about getting drunk and eating snacks for 7 pages. Like I'm here for the mystery, the thriller, the horror. I'm not trying to be here for a girl's getaway, you know? So there were a few times that I was like, okay, let's get past all of this, all of the preemptive, like, missed you so much, let's hang out. I want to know why Julie's being freaking weird. I think where I got, like, totally invested was whenever Elise, our main character, calls Tristan, Julie's husband. And Tristan gives her a little bit of insight on his experience with the returned Julie, who has been missing for 2 years, showed up, and is not acting like herself. So I really didn't get super interested until that phone call. Once that phone call happened, I'm like, I'm in it. I'm invested. I'm a little bit spooked. Like, I've definitely had to, like, check behind my shoulder a couple times because I hear something behind me, something settling in my house. So it's effective. The horror is effective once you get there, but until you get there, it's kind of like, okay, like, yeah, weird things are happening, but I'm not immersed in what's going on. It's the thing that I think is weird, that doesn't make any sense, is why is the hotel so sus? Like, I understand that Julie is not herself and something's going on with Julie, but the hotel is removed from Julie, right? So why why are we getting weird vibes with the hotel? And is it just because of Julie and what's going on with her, or is there something else going on with the hotel? That's what I really want to know. I'm afraid that because I'm so far in and I don't have the answers to these questions yet, I'm afraid that they are either A, going to be unanswered and the ending is going to be ambiguous, and I hate that, or 2, the questions will be answered and it's going to be like rapid fire, let me just give you the entire explanation in one page, and I hate that too. So I fear for how this is going to end. Not because I want the explanation to be a certain thing, or because I have like an idea of what's going on that I want confirmed. I just want the answer to be delivered well, and I fear that it will not be. So we're gonna find out. I'm going to finish it probably in the next 30 minutes, so it won't be long before I update you. And I'm sorry that I haven't updated you more before this point, but I just I've been mostly listening to the audiobook while doing things around the house, and so I didn't realize how far in I was until I checked, and I was like, oh, okay, we're already over halfway through. This book feels really short, and it is short. I think it's like 200 and something pages, 296 pages, so it is a short book, but it feels shorter than it is, I think. I don't know. Something about it. Something about it is weird. I have mixed feelings. I think that I like it. I think that right now I'm sitting at a 3.75. Maybe even 4 stars, but it really all depends on the ending and how that's delivered. So I'm gonna find out, and I'm gonna let you know how I feel. But yeah, we're getting real close to the end, so I'll talk to you soon. Well, I did it. I finished it, and it was okay. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't love it. I think the ending was delivered well. It could have maybe been a little bit better, but it wasn't bad. Like, I wasn't necessarily disappointed with it, but I will also say that I didn't go into this book with very high expectations. So I feel like it would have been kind of difficult for me to be disappointed because of that. It was just fine. It was just fine. I think that there were some parts that were very effective when it comes to the horror elements. Like, there were some really, really strong descriptors. We'll say that. Really strong descriptors when it comes to horrifying visuals. There were some high intensity moments, especially towards the end, which was good. I just don't have very strong feelings about it. And yeah, so what to rate it? I think that 3.75 still feels right. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna end up giving it. I think that, you know, it was just good. It was just good. I'm not disappointed. I'm not like blown away. It's just fine. So that concludes the reading vlog. We got to read 3 books together, and they were all an experience. We'll say that. We found some really good ones. Bad Cree was a very good one. We found some really horrific, disturbing ones, and we found a pretty medium thriller. And yeah, I would say that that's a pretty good success. We got a little bit of everything in here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for reading with me and listening to all my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you will try to read these books if you're looking to read them, and let me know what you think of them if you've read them or whenever you read them in the future, because I would like to know. I would like to know what everybody thinks of these books, because they are all very interesting, to say the very least. This will be the last time that I'm filming during the official Summerween week, but I will be reading horror and thriller and mystery books all month long. So if you'd like to continue Summerween all month, then you can hang out with me on this channel. Subscribe if you want to see more bookish content. Next week, I think my focus is going to be like summer camp horror. I think that's what I'm wanting to do. So I'm getting some books out of the library for that little theme. So if you want to watch me read summer camp horror, then come back next week, because that's the plan. But yeah, give this video a like if you liked it, leave a comment if you've got any thoughts on my thoughts, and I will see you very soon for another one. Thanks for being here. Bye.